Welcome to another exciting live stream from Gentex Multimedia, streaming directly to your device from the sunny Brisbane from Australian City. And it is wonderful to have your company once again. Today is a very important day. Today is Friday the 20th. Yeah, of course, it's Friday, so hey, it is Friday. But it is Friday the 20th of November. So 20th of November every year is White Ribbon Day. And today there's so many functions and events that's been organized throughout Queensland, throughout Australia, and all our supporters, ambassadors and volunteers are on all the sites, doing what they have to do for today to support. There's many workplaces who have held functions today for White Ribbon, and I'd like to thank everyone who has supported my special fundraiser, my campaign to fundraise. And people can go on my Facebook profile and you'll find the campaign that's especially for me. And I have exceeded my target by this point in time, but every little bit counts. So if you can spare a moment, go on my campaign, which is North Brisbane White Ribbon Day. And if you are able to donate to this very, very worthy cause, that would be much appreciated. Well, before we get into the news for today, let's take a very quick look at what the weekend has in store for us. As we know, there's many things that people might be planning. With that, let's welcome Dilraj.
Good morning, everyone. Weather forecast for the rest of today is maximum 29 degree. Brisbane area is mostly sunny with no chances of rain. Winds easterly 15 to 20 km per hour, turning northeasterly 20 to 30 km per hour in the middle of the day, then becoming light in the evening. Fire danger is high, sun protection is recommended till 3:30, and UV index is predicted to reach 11, that is extreme. Tomorrow, that is Saturday, minimum will be 19 and maximum will be 29. Brisbane area will be mostly sunny with 10% chances of rain. Light winds becoming northeasterly 20 to 30 km per hour in the middle of the day, then becoming light in the late evening. Sun protection is recommended till 3:40 and UV index is predicted to reach 11, that is extreme. On Sunday, minimum will be 20 and maximum again will be 29. Brisbane area will be mostly sunny with no chances of rain. Light winds becoming northeasterly 20 to 30 km per hour during the day, then tending northerly 15 to 20 km per hour during the evening. Sun protection again is recommended till 3:40 and UV index is predicted to reach 12, that is extreme. Till tomorrow, stay safe and enjoy a lovely weekend.
And thank you very much for that wonderful news there, Dilraj. Now everyone can plan their weekend. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, that right now it is the White Ribbon Day, and today there's so many things that are taking place, as you can see from the thing there. Well, the page is not trying to work for me at the moment, but anyway, so White Ribbon today is the main day. So what is White Ribbon Day today? Let's take a very quick look at that.
1 in 2 women have experienced sexual harassment in Australia.
Together
we will end men's violence against women and children in our community.
Host an event, involve your community. White Ribbon Day, Friday 20th November.
Every woman and every man has the right to live free from violence and fear. But now, across the European Union, 1 in 3 women, 62 million over the age of 15, have experienced physical or sexual violence. 1 in 20 women have been raped, and over 1 in 5 women have experienced physical or sexual violence by a partner. Many hundreds of women die every year at the hands of men. This violence is overwhelmingly carried out by men against our mothers, girlfriends, sisters, daughters, neighbors and colleagues. But men can make a difference. Men with the courage to stand up and speak out can help to end violence against women. Because men can help to change the way other men think and act. Younger men, older men, all men. A world where women and men work together for equality. Now, for the first time, there is a new campaign covering the whole of Europe, supported by the European Institute for Gender Equality. We're increasing understanding of the role men can play in stopping violence against women. We need your support. At the heart of this campaign is a new network of White Ribbon ambassadors, men and women who are already using their influence to help us connect with men they live and work alongside, build partnerships with key organizations, raise public awareness through the media. Together we will be stronger. Join us, because men's violence against women must stop.
And yes, it must stop. And the reason I am involved is I've been involved for quite some time. As we know, White Ribbon in its previous administration was slightly different to what it is today. But nevertheless, our aims and objectives are still the same. And they remain the same because we're still supporting the schools program and the workplace accreditation, of course, and the White Ribbon Day, where many of our volunteers come to help and assist. And as I mentioned before, that if you feel strongly for this case, that our mothers, sisters, and daughters need to be protected, and this culture within men must end. So White Ribbon, for your information, is not a front-end service provider. So we do not go out, and our role is to raise awareness. As was mentioned in that video before, what we do is we go out into the community, talk to people and explain. And I have seen many times firsthand that so much that happens within the community. No community is immune from domestic violence. Every community has it. And a lot of communities have their own ways of dealing with it as well. But it's no use being there or suffering in silence, because breaking the silence is one of the rules that we do. And we are partnering with many other organizations who provide front-end service and to the much needy. Our role is community awareness, and that is what we do. Is we go out in the community, especially speaking to men and saying, "Hey mate, this is not on, be a man." Many times people say, but they were pushed into the limit because of the wife or their partner. Regardless of what they do, it does not ever give you the right to hit or be violent with anyone. There are ways to deal with it, and there are organizations who are willing to help and assist you in those kind of causes, but never resort to violence. And that is what our message is. That's what we are trying to get the message out there. And today, of course, our stall is in Tigam Shopping Center. Come and say hello to us. And if you are unable to come, just search me up on the Facebook page or even the White Ribbon page and look at the North Brisbane special campaign, which has been launched by me, my fundraiser for the day. Everyone are doing their own things. Someone's doing a morning tea, some have office functions, and they're raising funds in whichever way they can to promote this advocacy work that we undertake. So I have launched a personal campaign, which is a very simple thing. If you go find me on, or just press the donate button, you'll get a receipt and everything online instantly through the secure platform that we have provided. So ladies and gentlemen, moving on, let's take a very quick look at the headlines for today.
Keep up to date with all the news here in Australia and around the world by watching us here on the ABC News channel, but you can also check us out online at news.abc.net.au and on iView. Here are today's top stories. The Chief of the Defence Force says the findings of the Afghanistan inquiry could offer fuel for extremists. The Inspector General of the Defence Force has recommended police investigate 19 Australian soldiers for the murder of dozens of Afghan civilians and prisoners. General Angus Campbell says extremists will grasp at anything to justify their own ends, and the actions uncovered in the report could make things worse. The government is being urged not to back away from a commitment to increase the compulsory super guarantee to 12%. A report card on the nation's retirement income system argues that many people would benefit from wage rises now rather than beefing up their superannuation balances. Industry Super Funds Australia says the government should not use that as an excuse to dump next year's increase. South Australian authorities are urging people to keep complying with the state's tough restrictions under the 6-day lockdown. There are 22 cases linked to the Adelaide cluster now, with a further 17 suspected. Health Minister Stephen Wade says the majority of South Australians are doing the right thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very, very special segment here as well. You know, Australia, when we talk about what's happening here, we know that Australia has an aging population, and we've all heard about the baby boomer stories. So whenever we mention these topics, we cannot help but think of pension and aged care. People worry about what's going to happen with the pension. In today's show, we will focus on aged care, the truth of life from which no one is immune. We are all aging every minute. So in today's society, it is normal for most of the household members to be at work. So that raises a question of care for the elderly. Of course, care for the elderly at your own home is noble. But in today's day and age, it is not possible. The extended family and the family network is not there. And the care requirements have changed. The duty of care, there's more risks associated with it, and someone needs to be very well versed in the ability of providing that care. Well, the reality is that aged care is here and here to stay. And to discuss about that today, I am joined by someone in the studio, someone who has got vast experience in this field. So as I've mentioned before, that it is a very, very important area of our life, which we need to always take into account. And welcome, Safdar.
Thank you, Umesh. Thank you for the invitation.
And thank you so much for being here. Just a little bit about Safdar. He is a very versatile market research professional, backed by postgraduate business qualifications. His experience includes, qualitative and quantitative research, market and customer insights, and competitor profiling in residential, aged care and retirement living across the 55 geographic catchments across Australia. Now, if that all means a lot, what it means is that he's an expert into the area if you're even thinking about going into this field or this segment. So his qualifications: Bachelor of Business Administration Honours from Lahore School of Economics, Graduate Diploma of Management from Central University CUQ, Master of Business from University of Queensland, and he has had many projects which he has handled. Southern Cross Care, which is Queensland, a portfolio market analysis for the 13 sites, outcome, basis for investment, decision making and service enhancement. Bolton Clark performed quantitative supply demand analysis and competitor profiling to assist Bolton Clark in identifying and acquiring the targets in the area for interest and future aged care allocation rounds as well. So that he is, all right, I said, for this topic, the right person in here. So once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Now, just a little bit, if you can, for all the benefit of our listeners, provide a little bit of a background on how you got involved into this much needed area.
Thank you very much, Umesh. That was a great introduction. Thank you again for that. So basically, I have worked in this industry for about 9 years now. So I was employed by the CEO of an aged care organization named Prescare right after I finished my second postgrad, and I've been working in this industry since. So I have actually worked in various roles, from marketing roles to market research roles to market analyst roles, and we have been involved in some major mergers and acquisition transactions as well in this industry. So basically, my expertise includes several areas, such as the what we call the feasibility studies for an aged care when someone is planning on opening a new aged care facility, or if someone is actually planning on expanding on the existing aged care facility. So that feasibility study includes several components, including the supply demand analysis, the demographic analysis, the competition analysis, and the house market analysis. So basically, just giving a business case sort of information to the boards and to the CEOs whether those investments would be worthwhile or not.
Okay, so that is quite amazing that you have been able to do all that. Now, looking at the aged care, if you look at the facilities that you were talking about, so even if someone's thinking about that, they come and see you and you provide all that information. So at this point in time, do we have enough of the facilities, or looking at Australia's aging population, would there be more needed?
Well, based on the numbers, we have actually worked on, some population forecasting and supply demand projections. And based on, on our projections, Australia is going to need a significant number of additional aged care beds. We did some analysis some time ago, and based on that analysis, we may need 200,000 to 300,000 more beds from the year 2021 to the year 2066. Now, that is a significant demand. Whether we'll be able to meet that or not, that is something we still need to see. But one thing which is in demand even more is the need for culturally and linguistically appropriate services. Unfortunately, all the services, they provide what we call generic service. Whereas, Australia has received many migrants over the last 20 to 30 to 40 years. And we need now services which cater to the different, language and cultural and even religious needs. So that is something I think we need to really focus on. And going forward, I think we need to discuss that even further, and how, as a community, we can actually, fulfill that need and demand.
I think you have quite rightfully said there that the needs for the multicultural community,
yes,
it is great, and it is needed there. And when we look at many of the organizations, because I work with many of the community organizations, and
yes,
such one is Queensland Multicultural Council.
Yes.
And there we have found out that there's many different communities who are addressing that needs, that what you mentioned there about the models being generic.
Yes.
That, yes, the service is there, the
yes,
service is being provided,
yes,
but it is generic. Looking at our family, what I said in our introduction was about the extended family and the way of life. If you look at our aging population with the background and everything, many times they will probably not be comfortable, going to a generic one. So what has been done so far in terms of addressing these needs?
Well, first of all, I'll try to explain what different divisions, there are under aged care. So aged care has two main components. One of them is called residential aged care. The other one is called home care. Now, home care is a service where residents or the clients, they call someone, and someone will actually come and help them with domestic tasks such as medication, cleaning, showering. So that is home care. The other component is residential aged care, where in which a resident actually gets admitted into a nursing home, and then they receive all the care that they require. Now, residential aged care offers what we call 24/7 intensive care, particularly for people who have complex care needs, such as dementia or mental health, or other complex care needs. So, to answer your question, the Department of Health has a special focus on offering specialized care to multicultural communities, but unfortunately we haven't seen such commitment from the communities themselves. I have seen some facilities going up in Brisbane, which are catering to the Chinese and Southeast Asian communities. But I haven't seen any, or we haven't observed any Indian-specific service, here in Queensland. And if you look at the numbers, based on the 2016 census data, there are approximately 2,000 people over the age of 70 which were born in India. And the number is going to go up, in the next few years, because based on the recent census data, there are around 50,000 people living in Queensland who were born in India. So I think there's a great need to offer, a cultural specific service, and unfortunately, we haven't actually seen, a great commitment from the communities themselves to address that need.
I know, and having worked with some of the organizations, as you know, one of the key organizations in Brisbane is FICQ,
Yes.
which is the Federation of Indian Communities of
Yes.
Queensland. The other one is GOPIO, which is the Global Organization of People of Indian Origin, which represents the Indian diaspora.
Yes.
So, representing over 40 million Indian living outside of India, and we have a Queensland branch. And then we have the AIBC, which is the Australia-India Business Council, which is, now I must say that in all of our interactions with many of the organizations, there always has been talks.
Yes.
But as you said, there's been no commitment or nothing that
Yeah.
has been happened. So, what would be a good model? I mean, would it need to be a wider community engagement, or could a community organization take it on?
Well, it can be done either way. In fact, it can be done either through a private model or through government-funded services. If the communities are actually, working on this project together, and they are not-for-profit organizations, the advantage that they may have, that the government has a special grant fund, which is called capital grants. So that grant fund is actually allocated to providers which are not-for-profit, and particularly, offering specialized care, such as multicultural services. And that grant will actually help them build their residential aged care facilities. So either a community can work on this project, or multiple communities can work on this project together. So that there's no restriction as such from the department.
Okay, so from the department there is no restriction, but from your experience, our day-to-day running and management, and the running of it, whoever takes it on, whether it's a collective or effort,
yeah.
or one organization takes it, they'll probably have to put a management team in place.
Yeah, it's actually not an easy business to run, because you have to make sure the residents are safe. You have to deal with the quality agency, and there's quite an extensive criteria from the government that you have to sort of meet when it comes to care and providing care and offering residential aged care services. So yes, so in terms of management, there has to be a single point of contact. When I say single point of contact, I mean it could be one person who's the CEO or the facility manager, or it could be one team who's looking after everything. But the management, in order to make this business work and be operationally efficient, you need a very good management team to achieve that.
Okay, so you have whet the appetite of many of our viewers, because there would be thinking, and it would probably rekindle the effort to say, look, this is what we've been talking about. Maybe he is someone with whom we can contact and see. So, how can, if someone is thinking of something like that and they need more advice, how can they contact you, and how do they go forward?
Well, they can actually visit on, they can visit our website, which is www.agingequation.com.au, or they can actually contact me directly on 042-1525-139, and whatever information they are seeking, I'll try my best to provide all the required information.
So there were, ladies and gentlemen, the numbers are on the screen at the moment. You can contact Safdar for any consultation that you might need on there. So I was reading on the thing, what's the regulatory body above this?
Well, there are a few. The overarching or the overall body is Department of Health. But when it comes to care, you have to deal with the quality agency as well, and they have their own criteria. But as you may be aware, the Royal Commission is being announced, and they are working on it. So they have some recommendations as well. They have released. So we'll just have to see if they follow through on those recommendations, and what happens when those recommendations actually go to the next level.
And what is ACAR?
ACAR. So ACAR is what we call, it stands for Aged Care Approval Round. So it's not like any other business where you decide one day you're going to open an aged care facility and you can do that. You have to follow a process. And part of the process is to acquire bed licenses. So each license has funding attached to it. And therefore, you have to obtain these licenses. And obtaining these licenses is a very competitive process. The success rate is somewhere between 24 to 34%. So in other words, out of 100 applications, only 24 to 34 applications are approved. And without the bed licenses, a residential aged care service cannot be provided.
Right. So, I was reading about that, and I thought that might be some, interesting point there to discuss that.
Yeah.
Now, as you have rightfully mentioned, that there is a big need from the community. So maybe it is a time for you to, whoever is watching, to take up this project or take up some action.
Yes.
And advice is available there,
Yes.
and models, which model to work on, whatever is available there.
Yes.
So once again, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very
and
much.
discussing this very, very important issue within
Yes.
the community. Now, before I let you go, is there any concluding remarks that you might have?
Yes. Not many people are aware how diverse, the Indian community is. We have to talk about different cultural activities that they participate in, different food preferences, different religious beliefs within the Indian community. Now that cannot be met in a generic service or in a generic facility. In order to actually meet that demand, we need a service which is culturally and linguistically and even religiously is appropriate. The other thing we also need to bear in mind that when we grow old, many of us unfortunately would suffer from dementia. Now when that happens, a lot of us are multilinguals. So we speak 2, 3, 4 languages. But unfortunately, in our last stage, when dementia happens, we actually revert back to our mother tongue. So that's why we need the staff, we need the services, which are actually, better suited to our needs. If there is no such facility here, I think people would have no choice but to send their loved ones back to India or, or other countries, they actually came from, which is very sad and very unfortunate.
Now, that is a very good point that you made there as well about the language, because in the in the aging days and with dementia and everything like
Yes.
that, it is always, and of course they say once you get someone angry, and if he or she gets really angry, they go back to their own language as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so one of the things there is, making sure that the facilities do cater for that need.
Yes.
That the staff or the care providers are able to speak that language, or they are chosen from that community which can
Yes.
relate to them as well.
Yes. Yes.
So once again, thank you so much. I think we might have to do a follow-up interview on this one.
Sure.
As we mentioned there's many other models that we need to look at and talk about, the funding and other arrangements that
Yes.
we were talking about.
Yes.
But I think I was discussing something similar with someone on this channel. And there were comments coming in from Australian lady and said, are you aware of the Royal Commission?
Yes.
And have you made a submission to the Royal Commission or not? Because there was someone who was making reference to aged care within our community. So, that's where those comments came in. So,
Yes.
the topic is very timely.
Yes.
The topic is very relevant. And it is, not something that, someone picks up a topic and starts talking about that. This is happening now. Our population is aging, the need is now, the time for action is now. Thank you
Yes.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank
on
you.
the show.
Thanks.
So there you are, ladies and gentlemen, that wonderful interview there from Safdar Ali, who is the director of the Aging Equation, and some very, very important and relevant points that we discussed there, as we now, having a appropriate aged care. Not only in aged care in itself is a great need of our community, but having a culturally appropriate one, for all communities is another very, very important move, something that some of our community organizations really, really need to take on. Right now it's time to take a commercial break.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Washa Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
And it definitely is the world. And don't forget all the open houses happening this weekend. And of course, on every Wednesday, we bring to you the real estate update with GlobeNet Realty. Of course, before we finish up, we'd like to bring to you the functions and events that are happening and taking place. And of course, FICQ Diwali is on this weekend. And to talk about that, I'd like to welcome into the studio Shyam Das, who is the president of FICQ. Shyamji, namaskar.
Namaskar. With great pleasure and delight, the Federation of Indian Communities brings to you Diwali 2020. It's a festival of lights, festival of peace, happiness and joy. Diwali symbolizes a victory of good over bad. Due to COVID, we are live streaming the entire program. Come and join us virtually and celebrate the festival and bring brightness in everyone's life. Have a wonderful Diwali. May the coming year be full of happiness, prosperity and peace for everyone. Namaskar. Happy Diwali to everyone.
Namaskar, namaskar. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, today it's White Ribbon Day. Don't forget that, I am making a personal appeal to you people all that please log on to the fundraiser for North Brisbane White Ribbon Day. Some people have already donated. Thank you so much for that. And all the names that have been coming through, like Agnes Whiten, Manoj Ram, Vicky Lilwell, Usha Chandra, and there's many more. These are some of the names that just came to mind who have already donated to the cause. Today is the day. So today is the day when we seek out your support. Throughout the year, we provide the support to the community via White Ribbon and from White Ribbon functions and events. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'd like to once again thank you all for being with us and watching our show on a daily basis. And it is always so good to see that people are appreciating our show, and they're also sharing that within their groups and communities, which is wonderful to see that. And of course, I'd like to thank all the admins of the groups who allow us to share our post in them, because our segment is of community information and it is for the community. And of course, there's also so many news and functions that people would like to know about. So until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me, and hope to see you at one of our fundraisers. And don't forget to log on to the site to donate and support this wonderful cause.